everyone. I'm actually in my classroom right now working on some things and just getting ready for the start of school and everything. But I thought that I would explain some of the connections to our class that I made with this article. So as you saw from the infographic, I included some information there, but the article is actually called "For Reading Comprehension, Knowledge is Power." And I thought it was interesting that they were talking about as students are moving into this 21st century literacy, as we're trying to prepare them to be capable graduates and employees, like we've talked about. A lot of teachers have taken the philosophy of, well, if you can Google it, we don't need to teach it. Students don't need to have that information, and specifically this has affected a lot of science and history teachers. And in this article, they were making the point that actually that can hinder students' understanding and their learning and ultimately their literacy of what we're asking them to read if they don't have the proper background knowledge and the proper schema necessary in order to be able to process and understand what we're talking about. The article also mentioned that specifically, studies have shown that this affects students from less advantaged backgrounds more than others because of limited experiences, not being able to go to museums, they cited, that sort of thing. So I think it's very interesting that they were talking about this, about 21st century literacy, and as well adapting the student schema and teaching them to be able to incorporate that in their background knowledge, which most of us already do. As good reading teachers, we obviously want them to understand the specifics and the background of what we're talking about. But I also thought it was interesting that in the article they assume that all of the teachers, so whether it's a history teacher, a science teacher, the English teacher, that those teachers teaching literacy is very important. So, they kind of say, obviously we all want to teach them literacy, so here are some ways to do that, which is another thing that we've talked about. I also thought it was interesting that they made the point, obviously, a big part of what we do is getting the students to hopefully read for fun and to read things that they enjoy, incorporating that choice, a little bit of unfoldment theory, but just getting the students interested in what they're reading to increase their literacy and their desire to read. And they cited some studies specifically, but saying that boys specifically tend to like historical content-based books or science content-based books. So the more that we can incorporate some of that, the more that we can engage some of our students with their interests that they already have. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Bye.